people that don't ride transit, their biggest concern is, am I going to be stranded? If I, what happens? And giving them that information gives them security. That's really good, Johnny. So this is a really unique relationship, right? Three companies kind of doing different parts of the market or the solution for the customer. How do you make that work? How is that unique?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think there are a few things that make it unique. I mean, if you walk around this trade show, I think historically a lot of the vendors here have not actually collaborated as closely as I think we all would like to. And to give Vontas credit and Transit credit and Swiftly, I think we all came together with a shared sense of purpose, which is we really want to help riders get from A to B and leverage transit. And we really want to help our transit agency partners be able to deliver a great service. So I think one, it started with that shared principle. What's also really helped us though is we've come together, our teams actually meet very regularly, and we talk about how we can make this integration work for our joint agencies and for all of their riders. And so I think that on the ground communication is just really important to the partnership. And then the last piece is actually leveraging open data and data standards when we can. And so, the data that Vontas is sharing to Swiftly around detours, that didn't exist a long time ago. There wasn't a way of even sharing this information, and oftentimes it was locked down. And so huge credit to Vontas for helping to share that. And then likewise for Swiftly in Transit, we co-created an extension to the GTFS real-time data standard, which now allows any agency to start to produce and share this information with Transit and other apps as well. And I think as we push the market towards more open communication, data standards, and open data can really help unlock pretty amazing things.
And this is happening in multiple agencies, right, Peter? Like KCATA, WeGo in Nashville, others. So talk to me a little bit more about what Johnny talked to us about how it all works.
Johnny had done something really important here, which is us technology providers and service providers in the transit market who work with our transit agency partners being willing to open up. When we started Vontas 4 years ago, we made it one of our core missions to really open up our products and solutions we've had for more than 30 years in place to say, the time of siloed proprietary solutions is past. The way technology providers serve transit agencies best and how we view our role as a CAT AVL provider is focus on what we do, which is data collecting, tracking, and dispatch, and then work with best-in-class partners. And with Swiftly and Transit, we have great partners here, and it's almost a call to action to the entire industry to use open standards, use the GTFS real-time, IP4PT standards to enable this communication, because in the end, as Johnny said, what we're all trying to do is help our transit agency partners to serve the riding public better.
That's cool. So another agency that the three companies work at is with CT Transit up in Connecticut. We were just there with Ben Limmer. Tell me about how you're helping the agencies and kind of the interaction you're having with them.
So one of the exciting things about what happens when we help an agency is actually that very little happens. And what I mean by that is that customers no longer, and riders no longer end up calling or contacting the agency as much because they have the information they need. Anyone who's worked in public transit, and you've done it for a long time, as you mentioned, Paul, they know that there's so much time that's spent with all of the folks who call, they want to know where the vehicle is, they want to know what's wrong, they're just trying to get home or they're just trying to get to the office. Those calls go away when you have good information that's entered in the operational interface in Vontas that goes through Swiftly with amazing predictions and other information, and then ends up in Transit as something that the customer can understand. So what we've seen in places like CT Transit and in Nashville with WeGo and elsewhere is that customer service volume actually goes down significantly by 50 to 70% or more. And that really makes a huge difference.
That's money.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it helps the customers.
yeah, it's because customers are happier. So it's not because there's cost savings from having worse customer service. It's because the customers are happier. That's what makes it so effective.